It's time for the 10th number list. Can you believe that? Here are 80 amazing numbers to expand your mind. 46 is the number of human chromosomes. By the way, it is the number of parallelogram polyminoes with 6 cells. It is a discrete semi-prime of the form 2 times q, the 8th of its kind where q is a higher prime. It is also an anagonal number or non-agonal number. 70 is a Pell number, and Pell numbers are defined by a recurrence relation. Also, 70 is the 7th pentagonal number, the 4th tridecagonal number, and the 5th pentatope number. The sum of the first 24 squares starting from 1 is 70 to the 2, or 4,900. This is the only non-trivial solution to the cannonball problem. 109 is the 29th prime number, as 29 itself is prime. 109 is the 10th superprime. The prime before 109 is 107, making them both twin primes. Also, 109 squares on an infinite chessboard that can be reached by a knight within 3 moves. 112 is a heptagonal number, which means it is a figure-8 number that is constructed by combining heptagons with ascending sides. By the way, if an equilateral triangle has sides of length 112, then it contains an interior point at integer distances 57, 65, and 73 from its vertices. 83 is the 23rd prime number. Since 23 itself is prime, it is a superprime. In addition to 83 being a prime, it is also a Chen prime, a safe prime, and a Sophie Germain prime. 83 is also a highly cototient number, and it is the 9th one on its list. 36 is both the square of 6 and the 8th triangular number, or the sum of the first 8 non-zero positive integers. The 18th harsh number in decimal is 36, as it is divisible by the sum of its digits. 81 is the square of 9 and the second 4th power of the prime, 3 to the 4. Also, 81 is a trigone xi number, which is like a Fibonacci number, but different. It is also a harsh number in bases 2, 3, 4, 7, 9, 10 and 13. 64 is the 6th power of 2. This number is the smallest with exactly 7 divisors, and it is the first whole number, greater than 1, that is both a perfect square and a perfect cube. Also, it is the 17th interprime, since it lies midway between the 18th and 19th prime numbers. 61 and 67. 128 is the 7th power of 2. A heptrack has 128 vertices. This number is divisible by the total number of its divisors, making it a refactorable number. By the way, 128 is a Friedmann number in decimal. The previous is 127, which is one number away. 94 is the 29th distinct semiprime and the 14th that is twice a prime. 94 is also a non-addition, meaning that it is not in the range of Euler's totient function, in decimal. 94 is the Smith number since the sum of the digits in its prime factorization, 2 times 47, is equal to the sum of its digits. 63 is the sum of the first 6 powers of 2. By the way, for 5 and labeled elements, there are 63 posits. This number is the 4th centered octahedral number, after 7 and 25. 63 is also the 7th square prime of the form p to the 2 times q and the 2nd of the form 3 to the 2 times q. 95 is the 30th distinct semiprime and the 5th that is 5 times a prime. By the way, 95 is the lowest integer for which the Mertens function is greater than 1. Also, this is the last member in the third triplet of distinct semiprimes 93, 94, and 95. 93 is the 28th distinct semiprime and the 9th of the form 3 times q, where q is a higher prime. In addition, this integer is a lucky number, a cake number, and an idoneal number, in bases 2, 5, and 30. 93 is palindromic. 30 is an even, composite, and chronic number. By the way, it is the largest number such that all coprimes smaller than itself, except for 1, are prime. Also, 30 is a primorial, which is like a factorial but with prime numbers instead of natural numbers. 15 is the 8th composite number and the 6th semiprime. It is also the smallest number that can be factorized using Shor's algorithm. 15 is also a deficient number, a lucky number, and a Bell number. Furthermore, 15's prime factors, 3 and 5, form the first twin prime pair. 100 of 6, it is the first one with no adjacent prime number. Being adjacent to 119 equals 7 times 17 and 121 equals 11 to the 2. The sum of a twin prime pair, which is 59 plus 61, is 120. This is also the sum of 4 consecutive prime numbers, 4 consecutive powers of 2, and 4 consecutive powers of 3. 52 is the approximate number of weeks in a year. This number is also an untouchable number since it is never the sum of proper divisors of any number. Furthermore, 52 is the 5th Bell number, which means it is the number of ways to partition a set of 5 objects. 50 is the number of states in the United States of America. One of the harsh numbers is 50, since its sum of the digits, 5 plus 0 equals 5, is divisible by 50. It is also the sum of 3 squares. 50 equals 3 to the 2 plus 4 to the 2 plus 5 to the 2. 9 is the first composite number that is odd. Furthermore, a positive number is divisible by 9 if and only if the sum of the digits is divisible by 9. By the way, if a non-perfect number exists, it will have at least 9 distinct prime factors. 58 is the 17th discrete semiprime. Discrete semiprimes are semiprimes that are not square numbers. 58 is also a member of a cluster of 2 semiprimes, 57 and 58. The next such cluster is 118 and 119. By the way, 58 is equal to the sum of the first 7 consecutive prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, and 17. 57 is the number found in a brand name of sauce called Heinz 57. 57 is also the 5th Leyland number, as it can be written in the form 5 to the 2 plus 2 to the 5 equals 57. The third Bloom integer is 57. By the way, a Bloom integer is a semiprime where both prime factors are congruent to 3 mod 4. 107 is the 28th prime number. Also, 107 is a safe prime. By the way, this number is the 9th emer because reversing its digits gives another prime number, 701. Plugging the number into the expression 2 to the n minus 1, 107 yields about 162 million, which is a Mersenne prime. 76 is, in colloquial American parlance, a reference to 1776, the year of the signing of the United States Declaration of Independence. This number is one of the only 2 two-digit numbers whose square and higher powers end in the same 2 digits. The other is 25. 98 is a composite number as it is 2 times 7 to the 2. Incenary. 242. 98 is a palindrome. This number is a Wedderburn-Etherington number. By the way, the Wedderburn-Etherington numbers can be used to count certain kinds of binary trees. 25 is a square number, being 5 to the 2. With decimal numbers, a number is divisible by 25 if the last 2 digits match 00, 25, 50, or 75. 25 is also a Cullen number, which is number in the form n times 2 to the n plus 1. 55 is the 15th discrete semiprime in the second with 5 as the lowest non-unitary factor. 55 is also the 10th Fibonacci number. It is the largest Fibonacci number that is triangular number, which is the 10th in the category as well. 51 is the number for the well-known area 51. Also, 51 is the 6th Motzkin number, telling the number of ways to draw non-intersecting chords between any 6 points on a circle's boundary. It is a pairing number, coming after 22, 29, and 39 in the sequence. That's because the sum of the first 2 mentioned terms is 22 plus 29 equals 51. 116 is the number of ternary Linden words of length 6. There are 116 different 6 by 6 Costas arrays. Additionally, 116 factorial plus 1 is a factorial prime. By the way, 116 is the number of different ways of partitioning numbers from 1 to 5 into subsets in such a way that, for every k, the union of the first k subsets is a consecutive sequence of integers. 2 is the smallest and only even prime number. 2 is also the first Sophie Germain prime, the first factorial prime, the first Lucas prime, and the first Ramanujan prime. Additionally, the first number to return 0 for the Merton function is 2. 43 is the largest natural number that is not an original nugget number. The third Wagstaff prime is 43. By the way, a Wagstaff is a smallest prime that is not a Chen prime, meaning that number plus 2 is not a prime or a product of two primes. 19 is the 8th prime number, like 19, 199, 1999, 199,999, and 19,999,999 are all prime. By the way, the sum of the squares of the first 19 primes is divisible by 19. Also, the digit 1 repeated 19 times forms the second base 10 reputed prime. 21 is the 5th distinct subprime. 21 is, by the way, the 5th Motzking number and the 8th Fibonacci number. Also, 21 is the number of prime numbers that have two digits. The number 21 is a Bloom integer since it is a semiprime with both its prime factors being Gaussian primes. 1 is a number representing a single or only entity. 1 is a multiplicate identity as well, meaning that anything multiplied by 1 equals the same number. Also, 1 is the smallest positive integer. 1 is also a numerical digit and represents a single unit of measurement or counting. 18 is the 10th composite number, and 10 itself is composite. By the way, it is the number of one-sided pentominoes, polygon in the plane made of 5 equal-sized squares connected edge to edge. In base 10, it is a Harshad number. 118 is the number of known elements on the periodic table. This number is not in the range of Euler's totient function, and it is a non-totient. It is a Lelum number of the second kind due to it being 3 to the 5 minus 5 to the 3. 29 is the 10th prime number and the 5th primordial prime. None of the first 29 natural numbers have 3 different prime factors or more. This is the longest such consecutive sequence. The smallest positive whole number that can't be made from whole numbers 1 to 4, using each exactly once and using only the 4 basic math operations is 29. 104 forms the 5th root there in pair with 105 since the distinct prime factors of 104, 2 and 13, and 105, 3, 5, and 7, both add up to 15. The sum of all of 104's divisors is 210, which is the sum of the first 20 non-zero integers and the product of the first 4 prime numbers. 80 is the sum of Euler's totient function over the first 16 integers. Also, 80 is the sum of the first 4 twin prime pairs. 3 plus 5, plus 5 plus 7, plus 11 plus 13, plus 17 plus 19. 80 is also palindromic in bases 3, 2222, 6, 212, 9, 88, 15, 55, 19, 44, and 39, 22, as well as a rough digit for bases 3, 9, 15, 19, and 39. 115 has a square sum of divisors. 1 plus 5 plus 23 plus 115 equals 144 equals 12 to the 2. By the way, the number of inequivalent ways of placing 6 rooks on a 6x6 chessboard in such a way that no 2 of the rooks attack each other is 115. 23 is the 9th prime number. 23 factorial has the same number of digits as the number in the factorial. The only other factorials that do this are for numbers 1, 22, and 24. Also, the 23rd highly composite number, 20,160, is 1 less than the last number, 20,161, that can't be expressed as the sum of 2 abundant numbers. 40 is the 4th octagonal number. Also, 40 is a replicate in ternary, which is 1111. Given 40, the Merton's function returns 0, as with 39. The only other smaller number to return a value of 0 is 2, as the sum of the first 4 pentagonal numbers. It is also the 4th pentagonal pyramidal number. 92 is the atomic number of uranium. It has an aliquot sum of 76, which is itself a square prime. By the way, there are 92 Johnson solids. Also, 92 is palindromic in basis 6, 232, 7, 161, 22, 44, and 45. 22, 117 is the pentagonal number after 51, 7, and 92. In duodecimal, 117 is a replicate. 117 is equal to 99 in base 12. Also, in base 8, 117 is 79 in decimal, which 62. 91 is 7 times 13, which makes it the 27th distinct semiprime in the second of the form 7q, where q is a higher prime. Additionally, the decimal equivalent of the fraction 1 over 91 can be obtained by using powers of 9. 31 is the 11th prime number. The 31st prime number, 127, is the second double Mersenne prime, following 7. After 3, it is the second Mersenne prime not to be a double Mersenne prime. By the way, the numbers 31, 331, 3,331, 33,331, 333,331, 3,333,331, and 33,333,331 are all prime. 7 is the 4th prime number. Also, it is a Whittle prime, a factorial prime, a harsh number, a lucky prime, a happy number, and a safe prime. By the way, if 999,999 is divided by 7, it equals exactly 142,857. 5 is the 3rd prime number, 4 powers of 5. Every power ends with the digit 5, and from 5 to the 3 onward. 5 is also the 2nd superprime. Also, 5 is the 2nd thermoprime of the form 2 to the 2 to the n+1. There are also 5 known thermoprimes, which also include 3, 17, 257, and 65,537. 8 is the smallest non-trivial cube. Also, 8 is the 6th Fibonacci number and the first even, non-prime Fibonacci number. Aside from 1, it is the only positive Fibonacci number that is a perfect cube. By the way, a number is divisible by 8 if its last 3 digits, when written in decimal, are also divisible by 8. 45 is the smallest odd number that has more divisors than n+1, and that has a larger sum of divisors than n+1. It is also the 2nd smallest triangle number, after 1 and 10, that can be written as the sum of 2 squares. 79 is the 22nd prime number and a cousin prime of 8 and 3. The number 79 is an American-based n, because the reverse of 79, 97, is also a prime. 79 is also a sexy prime with 73, as a special kind of prime number. 79 is a regular prime. 68 is an even number and a composite number. A 68-sided regular polygon may be constructed with a compass and straight edge. As of 2024, this number is the largest known number to be the sum of 2 primes in exactly 2 different ways. 68 equals 7 plus 61 and 68 equals 31 plus 37. 10 is the base of our decimal numeral system, which is the most common system of numbers in both spoken and written language. By the way, the C prefix for 10 is the. Also, it is the smallest non-Cartesian, which is a number that can't be expressed as the difference between any integer and the total number of coprimes below it. 16 is a square number, being 4 to the 2. It is also the first non-unitary 4th power prime of the form p to the 4. Also, 16 is the base of the hexadecimal system, which is used to a great extent in computer science. 123 is a Lucas number after 29, 47, and 76. Also, this is the first whole number containing numbers from 1 to 3, along with 6. 123 is one of only 2 positive integers that is simultaneously 2 more than a perfect square and 2 less than a perfect cube. 102 is an abundant number and a semi-perfect number. The sum of Euler's totient function over the first 18 integers is 102. Also, 102 is the first 3-digit number divisible by the numbers 3, 6, 17, 34, and 51. 108 is 9 dozen. The total number of divisors of 108 is 12, and 108 can be divided by 12. Hence it is a refactorable number. It is the hyperfactorial of 3 since it is of the form 1 to the 1 times 2 to the 2 times 3 to the 3. 126 is, in Pascal's triangle, a pentacle number. 126 is also the different number of ways to partition a decagon into even polygons by diagonals. By the way, 126 is the 5th perfect Granville number, and the 3rd such not to be a perfect number. 53 is the 16th prime number. Before that, there's 41, 43, and 47. 53 is an Eisenstein prime, an isolated prime, a balanced prime, and a Sophie-Germain prime, all in one. The sum of the first 53 primes is 5,830, which is divisible by 53, a property shared by only a few other numbers. 82 is the atomic number of lead. 82 is also a happy number, meaning it eventually reaches 1 when replaced by the sum of the squares of each digit. This number is a companion Pell number as well. Also, 82 is palindromic in bases 3, 10,001, 9, 101, and 40, 22. 48 is 1/3 of a gross, 144, or 4 dozen, 12s. By the way, 48 is a Harshad number in base 10 because the sum of its digits in decimal, 4 plus 8 equals 12, is divisible by 48. 48 is also the double factorial of 6 and a highly composite number. 61 is the 18th prime number and a twin prime with 59. Also, 61 is a unique prime in base 14, since no other prime has a 6-digit period in base 14. By the way, 61 is palindromic in bases 6, 141, and 60, 11. 77 is the sum of the first 8 prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, and 19. This number is a Bloom integer since both 7 and 11 are Gaussian primes. 77 is also the number of digits of the 12th perfect number, which is about 14.5 quatuor vigintillion. 54 is the number of countries in Africa as of 2023. The Holt graph has 54 edges. As for powers of 2, 54 is the number of primes less than 2 to the 8. Additionally, 54 is the only non-trivial neon number in power 9, since the sum of the digits of 54 to the 9, 39043059123133444, is 54. 86 is 2 times a prime number, and it is the 25th distinct semi-prime and the 13th of the form 2 cube. Also, it is conjectured that 86 is the largest and for which the decimal expansion of 2 to the n contains no zero. 75 is the number of balls in a standard game of bingo in the United States. It is a self number because there is no integer that, when added up to its own digits, adds up to 75. The next non-agonal number 9, 24, and 46 is 75. 73 is the 21st prime number and a number with 37, the 12th prime number. By the way, it is the 4th star number, which is a number that forms a centered hexagram, 6-pointed star. 73 is also the smallest factor of the first composite generalized Fermat number in decimal. 10 to the 4 plus 1 equals 10,001 equals 73 times 137. 14 is the 7th composite number and the 3rd distinct semiprime. It is the first even non-addition, meaning that it is not a totient number. A tetrahedron is a polyhedron with 14 faces. By the way, 14 is the 2nd square pyramidal number and the 5th Catalan number. 103 is a prime number and the 27th of its kind. The previous prime is 101, making them both twin primes. It is the largest prime factor of 6 factorial plus 1 or 721. By the way, 103 is the 5th irregular prime. 114 is a sphenic number, and its factorization is 2 times 3 times 19. It is the sum of the first 4 hyperfactorials, including h0. There is no answer to Euler's totient equation for 114, making it a non-addition. 125 is the cube of 5. It can be expressed as a sum of 2 squares in 2 different ways. 125 equals 10 to the 2 plus 5 to the 2 and 125 equals 11 to the 2 plus 2 to the 2. Like many other powers of 5, it is a Friedmann number in base 10. 130 is a sphenic number, which means that it is the factorization of 3 distinct primes. Also, it is the only integer that is the sum of the squares of its first 4 divisors, including 1, 1 to the 2 plus 2 to the 2 plus 5 to the 2 plus 10 to the 2 equals 130. 47 is the 15th prime number and the 6th Lucas prime. Because 47 is a Lucas prime, it is also a Lucas number. This number is an Eisenstein prime with no imaginary part and real part of the form 3n-1. 35 is a tetrahedral number because it is the sum of the first 5 triangular numbers. By the way, combination of 7 things taken 3 at a time. 11 is the first digit. By the way, the root of Pascal's triangle can be seen as the powers of 11. It is the 5th prime number and the first 2-digit numeric palindrome and decimal. In English, it is the smallest positive integer spoken with 3 syllables. 65 miles per hour is a common speed limit on expressways in many U.S. states as of 2024. 65 is also the smallest integer that can be expressed as a sum of 2 distinct positive squares in more than one way. 113 is the 30th prime number, following 109 and preceding 127. 113 is also an Eisenstein prime with no imaginary part and real part of the form 3n-1. This number is a permutable prime with 131 and 311. 26 is the number of letters in the alphabet. It is the 7th discrete semiprime, which is 2 times 13. Also, when a 3 by 3 by 3 cube is made of 27 unit cubes, 26 of them are viewable. It is also the only integer that is 1 greater than a square. 5 to the 2 plus 1, and 1 less than a cube. 3 to the 3 minus 1. 99 is the highest 2-digit number in decimal. Also, 99 is a square prime of the form d to the 2 times cube. It is the 11th composite number of this form. In base 10, 99 is a palindromic number. 99 is also irredigent, the 9th of its kind. 41 is the 13th smallest prime number. The next is 43, making both twin primes. It is also the sum of the first 6 prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and 13. The sum of the divisors of the first 7 positive integers also equal to 41. Well, 80 numbers in a row is very long, and that's it. Thank you for watching, and please do us a favor. If you liked Dust1218's videos, please subscribe to him to show your support. If we made any mistakes, please let Dust1218 know. So with that, I'll see you next time.